market data on one market. Ash, back to you for the key data for the market data. Here we are, mate. That looks a lot like the COT data to me.
Yes, it absolutely is the COT data, and I think it's well worth staying with the gold story. I'm going to start with the dollar, because really, if we're trading gold, we are trading it against a cross. So we will look at it against the dollar. And before Friday's data was released, what we see is dollar buying weakening. Look at this. And the reason I want to point out the dollar is the most significant, from what we saw with the commercial change last week. The percentage change, these are the longs. The longs were down 35%. So this also suggests that that long dollar trade has got some time before it's really going to establish itself and back to business as usual, looking at the longer term trends and what are the longer term trends saying. There are other currencies that I think are of interest, but what I like about gold is firstly where it sits on the charts. I think it's a buy zone. I think it's a really, really good buy zone, really lovely area to look for the long. But on the COT data, look at this, what's been going on over the last 18 months to the last 6 months. Just the commercials are starting to push the index higher. So we're just seeing the interest in gold starting to edge up on the near term. Now that may not transmit into something substantial and really long term, but as we're looking for the next week, maybe into the next month, then we want to focus on what this particular data and what this particular message is telling us, and it's telling us that that gold is getting some interest here. So that kind of puts some confidence in at the level, because as I said, the level's really, really significant, and the level's really key with gold right now, because it has had the big move to the downside for a few days. It's also had that message that you were talking about with Ainslie on the 4 hour, that potential false break to the downside. And this is kind of suggesting that we can start to look for those longs in gold for a period. Now let's look at the seasonals on both these and see if they back it up and see if they add to the confidence. So this is the dollar. And when we go up to have a look at what happens to the dollar during the month of July, this is July here, the start of July. We'll be probably looking around about this period here. And it suggests that the dollar probably peaks out around about, at some point that we've either seen or some point this week in July. And then it starts a fairly aggressive move to the downside, maybe one of the more aggressive moves to the downside that we see with the dollar. So weaker dollar right the way up, really until October, but definitely until August. So we could be looking at a weak dollar for the rest of this month, in accordance to the seasonals. And then we go back to comparing it to which pair we would cross it with. And we're talking about gold. So let's have a look at gold seasonals. Ainslie's touched on this, but here's the visual confirmation of this. This is July. And okay, it kind of bubbles along in August, but we can see that the overall move in gold is higher right away up until October. Now, when we looked at the dollar, we were looking at it kind of coming aggressively down in August, but still kind of unable to start picking up until October. What we see with gold is that it kind of edges higher during July, but it starts to get a lot more aggressive during the August to October period. So gold long versus the dollar at this particular stage is quite a strong message. That's what the message from the COT and the seasonals are telling us. And now we just need the kind of the technical reason to get into that. In my personal opinion, I think we are in a buy zone. So this particular product looks pretty good to me for the long.
Cheers, mate. I really agree with you, by the way. I think it's awesome, and thanks for that. Mate, if people want to catch you during the week, where do they catch you?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. I am on the Trading Buddy show, and I trade with my good friend Geoff every day. And that starts at 5 to 8 in UK time, which would be 5 to 4. Is that right? I believe 5-4 in Sing.
5-3.
5-3. 5-3.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd be finished by 4. 5-3 every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can find me on YouTube and just look for Trading Buddies, and you'll find me there with Geoff.
And if people want access to the cot and seasonal data, they just need to contact contact@actionswealth.com, and the team will get back in touch. And what you're looking for with the seasonal chart is for the two lines, we're doing the same thing. When the blue line and the yellow line are both going up, that's a positive thing. Mate, I love the gold trade. That could be the tip of the month right now. I think it does look seasonally, cot data, everything. Doesn't mean tomorrow it's going to go through the roof, but it does mean that it's a time to look to start and create a position that you can build over time. This is potentially, if you get in now, it's a long-term trade. So we're going to get a little bit in there and add to that over the next period of time on some pullbacks. Cheers, mate.
Well, this is the great thing about this stuff is that the information is telling us that that there's a really good probability that this is going to work. And now we need to go to what technical setups we've learned, put our strategy in place. You know, this is about having a bias. We've got our bias. Now we go back to our strategy, trade the strategy to the letter, and we've got a good chance of it working out in our favor as long as we're looking for the long.
It doesn't mean we go back 10% on the wave right of gold on Monday. It just means we wait for the right opportunity, and we put 1% on, and we wait for an opportunity. We might add 1% if the past risk. Nice looking. Honestly, the lineup of the data looks really good here. I'm going to see how it unfolds over the next few weeks, and we will check in with you if you can remind us about this next Sunday night. I'll be keen to hear how progress on it is.
Great stuff.
Cheers, mate. Look, next in is Sukri. We've got Sukri on crypto before.